Ariette would not be here. This company would not be here if it wasn't for you. And I know that, we've branched out and we've done like something different, which we'll talk about a lot, obviously, and how that unfolded. But, you and I started working together the same day at Norman's on the same station. Was it 11 years ago? Yeah, right?
Yeah. I want to say
11 years ago. And since then, we worked at 4 different places together.
Something like that. I think it's 4.
4. And we've been here for 5.
We've been here for 5.
So, I don't know if there's enough time in a podcast to talk to people about how many important things you did here, how many hurdles we faced together, how many brunches for Mother's Day that we did 400 covers alone.
Brunch.
Yeah, that we would show up at 4:30 in the morning to prep to be open by 11. There was just there's no way to put that into words. So that's my way of saying thank you. That's not enough way of saying thank you. And I think it's been, 2 years since the Pastelito thing started?
Yeah, 2 years pushing hard. The first year, we kind of trickled it into brunch and then kind of disappeared a little bit. Kind of I was waiting on the trademark because I didn't really want to put out anything without the name being trademarked.
Then people steal your Instagram handle.
Yeah, even though I didn't like the name from the beginning, but...
What do you mean?
It kind of grew on me.
Yeah. Well, how did we come up with that name?
It was, you would always work service at night, and then I would open up early brunch, and you would just walk in an hour before we open. I'd have everything set. That day I went in extra early, and you came in, and you were kind of hungover from the night before. You got your ass kicked probably.
That sounds about right. Sounds accurate.
And then you were just with a cup of coffee in your hand, and you were checking through shit, making sure we had stuff. And I'm like, yo, everything's ready. I'm like, I just want to talk to you. And you're like, what? About what? I'm like, the Pastelito thing. He's like, oh, yeah, bro, yeah. I'm like, no, I'm serious. And you were like, that's right. He's like, you're going to be the Pastelito Papi. That's it. And I was like, nah, bro. And, we did one pastelito, which was a frito pastelito, and promoted it for brunch, and it kind of became a thing.
Basically, it is a pastry filled with several different things that can be had at any part of the day. Does that make sense?
Pretty much.
So, Hispanic culture, we have it for breakfast, lunch. We could have it for dinner. We could have it for post-dinner. But basically, it could be savory. It could be sweet. It could be both. It actually is, a lot of times, the savory ones have sweet elements to them because it's the simple on top.
Yeah.
But it's something that's part of our culture. And I remember the story because I was hungover that day. But I remember the story a little different in the fact that we did that event. So we did an event for Bacardi for the Food and Wine Festival. It was, I don't know, it has to be 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago.
And we had a person that worked for us at the time, and she was responsible for letting us know all the events and how many things we had to have for that event. She said we had to have 400 pieces, right? Yeah. Which eventually we found out that it was actually 1,200 pieces.
Yeah.
So I said, let's make a pastelito with head cheese because I like all the weird shit. So let's do head cheese with fish sauce caramel or whatever. And Gio made them all, and they were all amazing. I had actually zero to do with it at all. And then after we did that, because we ran out of food in 45 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was more like in an hour we were already halfway done, and we were like, no, hold it back. And then, we got rid of the food pretty quick. We weren't expecting that.
And then I think it was a couple weeks later, you started talking to me about what if we just did this shit good?
Right.
We did pastelitos that weren't just a regular thing, like pastelito de carne, which is of beef for our Kansas people. Pastelito of what else is normal shit? Because I'm actually pretty zoned out to what the queso, cream cheese pastelito, yes. Guava and cream cheese pastelito.
Guava, cream cheese.
Coconut is pretty normal.
They have one called a cangrejito, and it's chorizo inside. I mean, it has nothing to do with crab. It's just more of the shape of the pastry on the outside.
Really?
Yeah.
And I actually didn't know that.
And different bakeries, they have a tuna one, which I haven't really gone.
Which actually is delicious, but it's a different dough.
Oh.
That's a different dough. It's not a puff dough.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. It's more of a doughy dough. Anyways, you came to me and you said, I really want to do this thing, and I just want to make it seasonal and local. And I was like, sure. I'm down to try whatever. and then it kind of more snowballed into the thing. And I don't remember, the first one was the Frida,
and the second one was PB&J.
PB&J, which to me is still my favorite. And peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are my favorite. Peanut butter and jelly pastelito is my favorite. And then, you know, like you were in Savor, right?
Yeah, we were in Savor.
Savor.
Shout out to Alona Martinez.
Yeah. Alona Martinez. One of the people that are woke, as the kids say, about food. And, you know, we were in Indulge a few times. That's when Indulge was run by Evan Ben, a good friend and incredible person. And, you know, just kind of like, and now it's like a thing. Now Gio's got like 1 million followers and 90% of them are all women, which I think is incredible and good for trying to find the Pastelito Mommy eventually one day.
Oh my God, we're nowhere near 1 million, but
still, but you know, just social media real quick, which I don't usually like, but I love in this instance because it tugs, like Pastelito Papi tugs at the heartstrings of Miami, and people really like they respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you do a new flavor, which was the last one? It was pumpkin something, right?
It was a pumpkin spice cinnamon roll, and obviously it didn't get many likes, but they sold out, man. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you think people are gonna like them, and some people don't. I mean, social media is weird, man. You know me. I'm not a social media person. Yeah. Before Pastelito Papi, I never post shit on my regular Instagram. I mean, for me to post shit is like kind of weird for me, but it's part of the nature of the business, and you got to put content out there. Sometimes I feel like I don't put enough good content, but people tell me that I do a good job. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, social media is whatever. I mean, the people that are social media people will say you have to post X amount of times. And
right.
Whole thing. But really, like, Chugs was supposed to just be a home for Pastelito Papi, and it ended up being other things too, but it was like the flagship location of Pastelito Papi.
Yes, it was.
And it was like people would come in and order a dozen. And this is my thing. And we had this conversation too, like 2 years ago. What do we charge for this pastelito, right?
Yeah.
That's like, it's such a pinned question. Because some people try to act some kind of way. And I always respond to them.
Right, and I'm surprised, like, you know, not that many people complained about the price. That was surprising to me. There were some, but...
Yeah, well, listen, we charge $4 for a pastelito, right? It's a much larger pastelito than normal. That's first. Secondly, we use nothing but good ingredients. They're all handmade. They're fresh, usually the day of. We sell out. I mean, they're always fresh the day of. We sell out. Whatever we don't sell out of goes into the garbage, which is not what other people do. Right. So... You know, I mean, it was a different thought process totally for that kind of thing because Hispanics like me were used to going to get a cortadito and a pastelito and a croqueta and paying $3. Now you're going to Chugs and you're spending more like $7 or $8.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But you're eating, let's say you get 2 pastelitos, you're going to be really full off of those 2 pastelitos.
Oh, man. It's hard to eat 2 of those pastelitos, man.
Opposed to like you go to the bakery, you can... tear down like 6 guavas, maybe 2 meat ones, and I've noticed like I still go to the bakeries and I've noticed they've gotten really smaller.
Well, times are tough.
That's true.
Times are tough. Let's go back, Gio. Let's go way back. Well, first of all, can I tell you a story before we go way back?
Go ahead.
Just because we can openly talk about the fact that like we both smoke weed, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like trying not to inhale the cigar.
Yeah, don't inhale the cigar.
But it's a great cigar.
Good. That's actually an Ariete Versos Sencillos version of the Espinosa Red.